simple, unbelievable, unique way to get heavy metals out of the body so your body can do what it's supposed to. And it's mind-blowing what the human body can do when it can operate how it's supposed to.
And people are welcome to getting these tests done on their own. Like, people are welcome to taking their own hair tests, submitting those into labs. You know, I've seen a lot of those results come back where before they start any kind of detoxing, they have, okay, these are all the levels of, like, whatever I've got in my system, from mercury to aluminum. And then they take the product and then they do the test again to see if it worked for them. Like, that is totally okay. And you
it's completely fine. The company wants to be as least restrictive as possible, but they don't want to be your boss. They want to say, listen, don't get the company in trouble. And we're here to basically fulfill the orders, make you get paid, make sure you've got your back office and all these other things. That's our role. We don't want to tell you what to do with your job and your life and your business. That's, you do what you want and be you, and just, just don't say cure and heal and, that other stuff. But beyond that, get all your heavy metal tests. If there's a lot of people out there too that will get new customers say, well, should I get a heavy metal test first? I usually say, you don't have to do what I say. You can do whatever you want. This is just a suggestion. I'm never here to tell anybody what to do, unless, of course, you're doing something blatantly wrong. I'm going to tell you what not to do. But other than that, once again, I don't want to be your boss. I want to stay out of the way. But people say, oh, should I get a heavy metal test done first? Well, the thing is, the heavy metal tests they're fairly expensive for the price of a heavy metal hair test or whatever. Buy a 3-pack. Versus, because, hair tests and everything, they only test what's coming out of your body. They don't test what's buried in you and all these other things. And so the hair test it only shows a fraction of the picture. So for the price, it's like, just buy a 3-pack and go through all 3 bottles and see what happens. Because otherwise, you order a hair test, you're like, oh, yep, cool, I've got heavy metals. Now I got to go buy the 3-pack anyway. Or your hair test comes back, you're like, well, it doesn't show a whole lot of these levels. Like, well, it's also only measuring what's coming out of you. It's not really measuring your toxicity loads. You may still want to try it anyway. So just save the money and just get the TRS first and try it. Then if you want it, but if you got the extra money and you want to do a hair test, you're more welcome. I'm not going to stop you. Also, to people who really want the most accurate way to do it, do the heavy metal test in the urine excretion. Basically, get up and before using the TRS or anything, get up one morning, pee in a cup, basically send that one off to be tested, and then take your 5 sprays or whatever the next night, and then get up in the morning, pee in that cup, and send that one off, and compare the 2 levels of how much is actually coming out of me. It might be tricky because they might have to use a very strong acid to dissolve the zeolites to get the metals out of them to be tested. I'm not actually sure on this. I should ask. I will ask to get some clarification to say, if somebody was going to do that, do we have the best way to do it? I'll put a little mental note. There we go. Get that tested. All right.
Notes on notes. Notes on notes. I'll have to remind notes to remind Adam.
Another thing as we go on, not to jump too many topics, but since we covered that, this is also something I like to tell a lot of people to get. This Ultimate Balance book, just on Amazon. Let's see who's the author there. Leanne Deirdre. Good stuff. It's basically about essential oils in the human body and emotions, but that's not the reason I'm using it. We're saying basically, here is, let's see if we can get it up there. Basically, it talks about the different emotions, where they're stored in the body, and the acupressure points. So if you want to start going through, like anger is stored in the liver. As an alcoholic, when you're angry and you're pissed off, what do? You drink to bury the anger in the liver. So if you've got these emotional detoxes of just like, oh, I got this, anger, I don't know where it's coming from. That could be as the metals leave the liver, that emotion has to come out and be dealt with that you never dealt with before. So this book, I'll go back and I'll make sure to just send you a picture too. But this little book it's really good just as a guide to say sorrow is held in the heart, fear is held in the lower back, anger is held in the liver, inability to let go of the past is over in the pancreas area. So if you want to start pinpointing the emotions of the different places, I mean, they've got the different Vitaflex points on the feet and the path that these things follow of where you can find it. So it's a neat little book for anyone who's really wanting to dive into the emotions. So when somebody says, okay, I got this coming up, you can say, well, according to this book, here's where this emotion is and this acupressure point. Does that resonate with you or not? So it's just handy to get out there and have, and if you want to pair your oils with it to speed up the process, absolutely. You can do you can do anything else that you want along with the TRS, except for heavy metal based bags. You do what you want.
You can do what you want. Isn't that crazy?
It's beautiful. It's like, do whatever you want. Using the oils and the juicings, the smoothies, the meditation, the yoga, the fit. I love using the TRS before going to do cardio or a workout. I'll take like 5 sprays and then go do my cardio, and I'll sweat like a machine, and it's great. I'm like, I feel so good when I'm done. That's a great way to detox. You know, if you want to do your juicing and other things, the TRS doesn't absorb beneficial nutrients. So you don't have to worry about it around your vitamins or all your other supplements and other things you want to do. They're only going to speed the process up more. Just be aware your consciousness and your ability to comprehend everything that's happening might be what's holding you, might be your limiting factor versus all of the physical changes that start happening in your body and also emotionally. But it's also at the same time, just remember, you're not dead. You're okay. Got a bunch of emotions coming up. It is fine. You are a human. You are supposed to be emotional. It's okay. Now, granted, if you're just like crying at your kid's birthday party and stuff all the time, you might want to slow down at the TRS and, maybe, but that hasn't been the case. That yes, there'll be a lot of emotions that'll come up, but you're human. You're supposed to enjoy the ride, pray through it, enjoy it. You're not dead. You're fine. God still loves you completely. Embrace those emotions and enjoy it, because it's a really fun ride that I'll get super emotional and stuff during my meditations and other stuff, and it's awesome. I love it. I mean, it's very strange for a guy to say that, but I've got very high levels of psychological androgyny. So
and you're years in.
Yeah, I'm years in too. That I've been hammering this for like probably 8 years. That I'm like, I want to get to the root of every stored emotion in me and get it out of me and embrace life to where I can live life as both male and female in my processing, because it doubles the experiences that I can have in life. I actually squares it or triples it or something, because I can enjoy the masculine aspect as well as the feminine aspect, and then the unification of both of them, saying I get to experience everything in life all over again without these emotions in the way. So it's like I'm living a whole new life. This is great.
Wow.
That's my perspective. People are like, how are there'll be people in public being like, how are you so happy today? I'm like, I feel really good and life is neat. So I'm in a really good mood because the sun is shining. It's raining. Have you ever felt the rain? Do you imagine, do you know how rain works? Do you know how water even works? Of how reality is even put together, that there's this water, that I'm able to interpret that, and water and emotions are close to it. Then I go into a 20-minute talk. Next thing I know, I haven't mailed a single thing at the post office, and there's 50 people behind me. It's like, oh, wait, I shouldn't have gotten into it today. Don't ask me questions when I'm in public, people, if you're not ready for the answers.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I really appreciate you jumping on to the live, and I'm sure many watching do, too. I could go on and on, and we could probably do another talk one day on maybe 5G and nanotechnology if you wanted to.
Oh, that's a whole nother can of worms.
That would be a whole can of worms, but right?
It would be. But if we want to, we could also schedule, if we want to do some private Zoom videos or something, that we go in on some private videos and talk about some other stuff, that we can always do that. And anybody, if you're watching this video, if you're a distributor, I am more than happy to do live videos with you if you want to have me come on, help you out, all that. I'm here to support everybody, and even if you're just a customer that has a question or whatever, 99% of the world falls in my downline, so just get a hold of me. I am here to help in any way that I can. That's what I'm here for, so don't feel bad. This is my job. Both my wife and I are blessed enough because of Coseva that we both get to stay home and wake up with our kids every single morning. So I don't care if I spend 3 hours a day answering these questions. That's what I'm here to do. My wife and I both get to be at home with our kids every day because of this. And I love hearing the stories and interacting with the people of the things that they tell me and the questions. That it's fun. So please, if you need anything from me, just let me know, and I am here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Holly, who just asked about breastfeeding questions, I could send you information that I have on breastfeeding with it. I know your wife took it while pregnant, right? And
she's done breastfeeding both kids, pregnant, and nursing our second kid. Our one kid, we just had a memory pop up from 3 years ago in our little Facebook deal when he started walking. And one of the things that our child had was both of his feet were turned really kittywampus, with his walking, and it really really interfered with it. And no idea where the metal toxicity came from. I'm sure MTHFR, we lived in a house with mold and all this other stuff, back in the day. So, okay, so be it. Lead paint probably too in the house. I know there was. So obviously the toxicity everywhere. But when we started the TRS with him, number one, he got the really foul poops that cleaned out the digestive tract of stuff. But we also noticed that with the chiropractic care and the TRS, his feet went from this to this, and his walking improved drastically within probably a month. Now, granted, he was like a year and a half old when he started, so obviously their walking is going to improve very quickly. But, you know, the very noticeable kitty wampus feet straightened out really quickly. So I personally attribute it to TRS. I can't guarantee this. I can't make false claims or anything of saying, yeah, the TRS absolutely, because we did chiropractic care and we used other supplements, but we know heavy metals interfere with the nerve communications going down the body. And so, you know, you're doing like this, that means there's obviously a block of whatever else is going on in the body, that the nerves are not communicating from the brain to the body. Same thing can happen with a bunch of the organs. It's the organ might be working just fine. Like my liver might be working fine, but if there's a block here that this liver can't communicate up to the brain, there's going to be a whole dysfunction that happens. And we know heavy metals can get in here, block these nerve signals, demyelinate nerves, choke up the signal so the message doesn't get through or gets scrambled. So there's the whole chiropractic care of this cranial and the vagus complex here, the stress complex being locked on. All of this stuff is so related with metals that can mess up everything. Yeah. And then, Elena, metals are passed down through bloodline, especially mercury. My wife had a ton of mercury fillings too. Thank God, right? For a dentist filling our mouth full of poison. Another topic. Boop.
I know. You seem with your story, you seem like that guy in the. I'm gonna jump on for like 5 minutes to then tune out. So, hey, I guess we got cut off. So we were gonna there, Adam's there anyway. We were gonna wrap it up anyway, but yeah, Adam, whenever you're ready, we'll just jump in. Perfect. Hopefully it allows you to jump on. Okay, there you are. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, back like a shoulder blade.
You're talking about the mercury and how that's passed down from just generationally, right? Like
it's horribly, because the baby is powerfully electromagnetically negatively charged, because it's this brand new fetus, super powerfully charged to be developing. Well, heavy metals carry a positive charge, so all the free toxicity in the mom's body basically gets sucked down to the baby, and the baby, usually the firstborn baby, picks up about 80% of the mother's toxic heavy metal load, which explains why I had such a difficult childhood filled with so much mercury, where I was borderline insane. And it's probably why I was 2 weeks late coming out of the womb too, because I needed that extra neurological development because of the mercury destroying so much of my, nervous system in the womb.
Wow. Yeah. No, So that's also something that people need to take into consideration too when they're doing this. And how many babies who, even if you weren't vaccinated while pregnant, your baby is born with how much heavy metals already, like what they're finding in their umbilical cords is just out of control.
Incredible.
Yeah. So, go ahead. Sorry.
They're finding so many, like you said, the umbilical cord full of like 200 and 600 some different toxins are found in most umbilical cords in babies. I read that, I saw the study, and I'm just like, oh wow. What was the book name again? I'll just throw it up there for somebody. I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll take a picture and send it to Talia so she can, if she wants, dump it on her IG page or I'll throw it on mine too. Here's that cool book. Here you go.
Yeah, sounds good. And so I think that pretty much touched on most of the questions that I had throughout the weekend, besides the because once you have the actual ingredient, just like with every supplement I'm seeing online, people really are only listing like NCBI studies on that ingredient in particular, and there's not really anything that these companies are putting out there to just further, like, here's proof of our, of our product. And are they required to do that? Is, in your opinion, like, what's your...
The problem is, to do a study like that on a product is very difficult, because you have to have two groups of people that one will take it, one doesn't, and then you have to control every aspect of their life. And then heavy metals can take 90 to 180 days for the lead to actually show the decrease, because lead's the heaviest element, gets stored in the bones, and takes the longest amount of time to leave the body. So to have actual trials of clinical tests and trials and results is a very difficult and expensive thing to do, and that's why there's not a lot of supplement companies that are out there that do it, because you take a look at even like Young Living or doTERRA. They've been around for Young Living's been around for 20 years. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and they don't have a single study on their products that they've released, basically, because it's so difficult to actually do those studies and do them well. And then the second you put out one of those studies, everybody and their brother like says, oh, well, you messed this up in the study and this wasn't done right. So there's always the naysayers that no matter how good your study is, I could basically put out a clinical study that I brought 100% of people back from the dead, using something. They'd say, well, you messed this up. I'm like, listen, dude, I brought people back from the dead. Can you just slow your roll here?
Right. But being in this movement of medical freedom, like you and I, we're really into constantly telling people that they need to be doing the research for themselves and things need to be transparent. Obviously, when you're talking about a product, first of all, this product is not forced on anyone. I hope whoever's watching understands that. You're not being forced to take TRS by anyone, I hope. And I guess that's where the disconnect comes with some people, where they're like, I need to see the clinical trials and the studies because we now are all awake and,
And I don't blame them. And the other thing is, too, when we talk about that kind of clinical trial or study or something, when you run a clinical trial or a clinical study, you're using a specific drug to treat a specific illness. The thing is with the heavy metal toxicity, that's such a broad thing of how do you run a clinical study on the 5 million problems that heavy metals could do? So it's like we could say, well, we ran this clinical study of half the people used TRS, half didn't. Well, how do you even measure those results of saying, well, these people had emotional detoxes, this one had, cognitive improvement versus this person had, better sleep? It's like, well, how do you even quantify the results when it's so... We're not using it to treat like one specific medical condition, like we used an essential oil against cancer, or this specific cell line of cancer. That's a specific study that we could do.
Yes.
But we can't with TRS, though. It's like, well, because metals are such a broad thing. There's not really a possible way to say, yeah, we could use it to do it with all of these things. Besides, we can say supposedly the one test that's coming out or clinical study that's coming out that's saying it reduced heavy metals by this much. Without, okay, fine, we can quantify that. That's normally, it's difficult to control all those factors, but at least it's a good study from what I'm told, and it's coming out, and I'm excited for that. But the other thing is, too, we can sit here with all of our supplements and be like, fine, well, give me your clinical trial on this vitamin, and give me your clinical trial on their frankincense, and give me a clinical trial on your detox foot pad, and give me a clinical trial on your shampoo. We could sit here and do this all day long with absolutely everything, but at some point, you've just kind of got to say, well, listen, this is neat. Look at all these results other people are getting, and I believe Coseva has a 30-day money-back guarantee, too. So listen, get a bottle, try it, and if you don't like it after 4 weeks or 28 days, return it.
Call them and return it.
Call them and return it. It's personal responsibility to be like, listen, go try it. If you don't like it, return it. And I'm very, very sorry. I would love if absolutely every person who used this got the most amazing results on the planet. Unfortunately, everybody's different, and there is nothing that's ever going to work besides prayer. There's nothing that's ever going to work that way that 100% of people get benefit from it. So I would love that, but we also live in the real world here. So
I know it's just because it's new to me. Also, the whole how to even go about distributing with this. It's a new concept to me. So I'm just like, what are my responsibilities? It's sounding like, just to sum up our conversation, that the responsibility of a distributor is to just, you could share personal testimony if that's your case, and you give them the information that you have on the ingredients you have, the studies you have, and then tell them if this sounds like something that's going to work for you, then great.
Right? Give it a shot, and you can always ask questions, get into little Facebook groups. I'll get out as much information as I can for people too, but once again, this is something that I would have to write a book this thick to properly cover everything. Also too, let's say it's going to use the common sense is the other thing I tell people. Listen, try the TRS, get started on it. If it's going too fast for you or something, take a break, slow down, start off with one spray, make it slow. If everything's going well, increase it as you go along. If you're not noticing anything, increase it a whole bunch and see what happens. And if you still nothing happens, then okay, fine, stop using it. But it's kind of one of those common sense things too. Start slow. If you're experiencing too much is happening, slow down or take a break. It's not that hard. Just say, okay, you know what? We're going to take a break for a little bit. We'll come back to it. The personal health journey is the same thing with anything. Just use the best personal judgment. If too much is happening at once, what do? You slow down. If not enough is happening, take more. It's a pretty, it's sad, unfortunately.
I know it sounds very common sense. It really does. But just to reiterate, because when you do look into this product, it just seems like, whoa, I need to have a degree in this kind of science, and I don't. because of that whole nanotechnology thing. So, I really appreciate that.
Just support your body as you go along. If you know all about all these other natural alternative health stuff, the chiropractic care, the oils, the nutrition, the meditation, even the little electronic devices, the beamer therapy, muscle testing, naturopaths, integrate it all. Completely fine. We encourage that drastically. Use as many tools as you can wrap your head around to use it. But if you're just getting started with everything, even for the average person that I've got a number of friends who started getting on it, they know nothing about that natural health world. Diddly squat. I mean, one of them is drinks nothing but coffee and smokes all day long. And that's his extent of what he knows about natural health. That's it. He doesn't need, every time he drinks water, he's like, yeah, I feel better. I've been drinking water. And then he goes back to nothing but coffee and cigarettes for another month after that. I'm just like, well, you know what? You got to do what you can with every person. But basically, this is so easy for even somebody who has no idea what's going on. Just start with one spray a day. See how you feel. If it's all going great and you want to do more, go ahead and see what happens. You don't have to be a quantum physicist or, a rocket scientist to do this, because this is so simple. That it's right. 5 sprays a day. Start at 1. Go slow. If you want to do more, you can up it. If you need to, take a break and back down a little bit. This is very easy to use it. But if you're just getting started with everything, even for the average person that I've got a number of friends who started getting on it, they know nothing about that natural health world. Diddly squat. I mean, one of them is drinks nothing but coffee. Start at 1. Go slow. If you want to do more, you can up it. If you need to, take a break and back down a little bit. This is very easy. Support your body as you go along, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself as all of these different things keep going. That's the neatest part about it, is not everybody has this. You're going to have happen what you're ready for. You're not going to have all these emotions come pouring out of you, because if you're not ready for it, it's not going to happen. You can't force those things along. So anybody that's worried about, I've got a lot of trauma backed up and I'm worried about dealing with it all at once, be like, well, 1, you can always just stop and take a break. And then number 2, it's not going to come up unless you're ready for it, or unless you force it, with a whole bunch of other things like I'm always doing. But
yeah. No, I get it. I just wanted to reiterate a few other things. So I really appreciate you coming on, and thank you for offering up your help and your advice to those that are starting out with all of this. And I'll look forward to the notes and you said the Word document that you're going to be putting out this week too.
Yep, I'll fill it up more, get it out there. Maybe I'll just make an ebook or something. I'll get to work on it. Thank you for having me. It was absolutely my pleasure. Anybody that needs anything, ask Miss Talia first if you can, or your direct upline if she's got a whole group of them. Try to find the person that first introduced you to it. And if you still need help, just go further, and somebody will be happy to help you. And if we have to, bring it to me, and I'll get it out to everybody. And that's what I'm here for. Here to help in every way that I can. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with these very long videos, because this is a lot to pay attention to and wrap your mind around, and a lot of topics, and this is still just the tip of the iceberg. So, Talia, thank you for having me. It was 100% my pleasure. I always get so excited at the end of these things. I'm like, I'm all jazzed up because it's fun.
No, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So, hope you have a great week, and we'll try to jump back on and maybe do another one in a week or 2 or something.
Love it. Absolutely. Anytime. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, Adam. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.